Hey, it's me, Gary, with the T, y'all. And yes, it's another beautiful day in the neighborhood. And you know what, honey, some of us are still neighbors, and I'm excited about it because you know what, my neighbor, honey, is going to be on today, and a friend of mine. And you know, I want him to tell you all about what he's going to be doing, honey. He's running for state representative. You know, where you could go out and vote for him, honey, and where you could send if you want to contribute to the his cause or what have you, honey. It's all gonna be great today because we are still neighbors. So, honey, without further ado, honey, put your hands together, y'all, and tune up, honey, and click on, honey. Let me welcome Mr. Christian Manuel. Christian, how we doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
I'm fine, Christian. You know what? It's another beautiful day in the neighborhood, and I'm so glad, you know, honey, last week, honey, or was the week before last, honey, we couldn't get this connected, but brother, we got it connected today.
Absolutely.
So, Christian, so I mean, without further ado, okay, now, so, you know, like I was telling the people, honey, you're running for state representative now, and that's in the beautiful, lovely town of Port Arthur.
Port Arthur, Beaumont, Nederland, Groves, Port Neches, Cheap, China, and Nome.
You know, and it's funny, because I was home this past weekend and I saw your sign, honey. I'm saying it's your sign right there on Twin City, honey, head right there to that office right down the street, honey. So, Christian, so tell us, I mean, so why did you want to run for state representative, first of all?
You know, honestly, I really didn't consider ever running for office. I said people who ran for office had mental disorders. But
Yeah.
But, you know, when I thought about it, I was like, I know how to do the job. It was hard to put myself out there. But really and truly, what narrowed it down for me was I just wanted to make sure that I was giving back to the community that has given back to me. I have 18 years of institutional knowledge. That's like saying I've worked for Ford or GM for 18 years, and then I would leave and go to Tesla and give them all of that information. And especially in a district that is predominantly African American and Hispanic, to basically say I have all this vast amount of information and I would rather just give it away and let someone else have to start all over again. I just think it was kind of unfair. And I said, let me just see if people will give me a chance. And so that's what really motivated me to go there. My boss pushed me. And so, you know, I'm here now.
And Chris, I mean, like you said, I mean, you have all this experience because it's basically, you basically did the job. You know the job because you was working in that capacity.
Yes,
correct?
Yes, I have been doing the job for October the 1st, made 18 years.
18 years, and hell, you don't look no older than 19. So
I'm 36. I will be 37 this month, but I started off when I was 18 years old, making $650 a month with no overtime because we don't get paid.
Really? Well, that's good. So, I mean, so my thing is, so how's everything going thus far? I mean, so how's the campaign trail going? When is the day that, you know, you vote? When's the voting day?
Early voting starts October the 24th to November the 4th. And then election day is November the 8th. And right now, honestly, it's going great. Our polling numbers are coming back with me in the double digits. We're looking at about 16 to 20 plus so far. And we're doing some innovative, fun things to get people out to vote. We're going to have some parades on behalf of my campaign. We're going to have some parties. Because the one thing I love to say is, like, being Black is, you know, we love to have fun because we're always having to deal with something. So every time we get a chance to have fun, we want to have fun. So I was like, what are some great ways? So we're looking at doing parades for the families, really getting people out there to understand voting can be fun because you can elect someone who you understand and who you like. And one thing that I've really done personally for me is I try not to speak on stages when I talk to people unless I'm at someone else's event. Because I said, Black and Hispanic people and just people in general are tired of being talked down to. I said, if you want voters to understand you or you come to any of my events, you're going to have to get on the ground and you're going to have to talk to these people. You're going to have to eat with them. You're going to have to shake their hands. If we have to hear the neighborhood guy ramble and you need his vote, you need to listen to him ramble too. You need to make the people feel like you're actually there to listen and you're ready to explain, not, hey, I'm here for a photo op and bounce out. I think people are seeing that and they're over that. And I've made sure and been cognizant to make sure that I don't make those kind of mistakes.
Yeah. So why should I vote for Christian Manuel? I mean, somebody may be asking that, well, why should I vote for Christian Manuel? What's the promise? Because you know there's a promise.
The promise is that I will work as hard for you as I've worked for the district for the last 18 years. I have worked on things of flood mitigation, domestic violence, education transformation, as far as in getting new ways of how we teach children. I've worked on things of for mechanic lien laws. I've worked on bills that have taken almost 30 years, as far as in eminent domain, making sure that property owners get more for their money than what the state wants to offer. Worked on things of HOA bills. I've worked on SNAP benefits. I've worked on prison reform. I've worked on social justice reform. I have done constituent casework as far as in making sure that people who are incarcerated are being treated fairly. So I'm not going to ever, as I tell people, I will never promise you that I will pass this, because that's a lie. What I will tell you is that I will reach across the aisle. I already have connections with people. And the one thing is that you can always find a friend, even if they are your enemy, because what they may not be for you with on one thing, there's maybe a whole plethora of issues that they're with you on. And I'm just going to work hard to get everything I can possibly get done.
Yeah. So what's the responsibility? Why do we need a state representative?
So, interesting fact, and I know this is your show, but I love to ask this question.
No.
The federal government, the state government, and your local government, who do you think has the ultimate control over school finances, of how much public schools get funded?
The state government.
We finance 92% of all public education. So when you look at it, like on last time on your show, I was telling you, when we look at a budget, literally what our responsibility is to do is to pass a budget to make sure that every area is getting everything that they need. Part of that is also, a huge part of that is public education, making sure that money is going into not just schools, but actually programs. So like really short, like I'm dyslexic and a lot of people didn't know that, but I also have a nephew, Peyton, who is autistic. But the blessing is I have a godson who has the exact same type of autism he has. And because of everything that I learned with him, I was able to tell my brother, hey, he's just autistic. He has this kind of autism. I want to bring things like that to the school system and say, how much money are we giving to the children who are autistic, and how much are we making sure that those children are getting the exact same type of education that children who don't have this type of a learning disability, so that we can close the gap, so that children who are autistic or have dyslexia or any kind of learning disability have the exact same advantages. Because what we have to stop fighting for is not just equality, but equity. And that's just across the board for everything. Equality gets you in the door, but it doesn't give you an equitable education. And we need to start doing that as well.
Yeah. So should those kids, I know this may be something different, should those kids be in the same classes with regular learning kids, or you think that those kids, the kids with disabilities, they should be taught separate?
That's an amazing question, because honestly, their autism and different learning disabilities, they're on different scales. So you may have a child who is autistic, but they can function normally in a classroom. They just may need a tutor or an aide or extra help with homework. And then you may have some children who need to be in a special class where they have much more a hands-on approach. Farron, my sister, she's a teacher who teaches children who are autistic or have Down syndrome, and her class is specified just for them. So it's a smaller classroom. So it all depends. And what we just have to start doing is making sure we're having the right amount of classes for those students who need classrooms that are for a different kind of attention. And then for the students who are supposed to be in classrooms where they don't need as much attention, making sure that we're getting money to them and getting resources to them as well.
And that just brings tears, because I have a nephew that's autistic, but
And you know what? That's the thing I've been telling everyone is, we have to stop looking at children who are autistic or who have Down syndrome or who have dyslexia as being disabled. We have to look at these children and let those children know that they are normal, just like you and I.
Yeah, they are normal. My nephew is but my brother had to pay a lot of money because, to send him through to different teachers and what have you and stuff like that. But he is doing very well. And it's amazing that, they can learn up to a normal kid, but you do have to pay though, honey. In most instances, if you want to believe, you got to pay a little bit more money, because they definitely have to pay a lot of money.
And so that's where I want the state to start coming in, is to We have a surplus in Texas right now, a huge surplus. We're about $25 billion over what we normally would have. And I'm like, now is the time to invest in our future. A lot of these children who are autistic, some of them are so technologically advanced that children who don't have learning disabilities cannot keep up with them. So we need to be making sure in those instances, if that child is good at this, let's make sure that we're funneling money in to get them the gaps where they need, help them when it comes to technology, because these are probably going to end up being our future generations of tech people. And it's beautiful because they've been investing themselves in this because it's safe and secure for them. It invests in their future to be able to say, I'm going to be able to get married, have a family, and have a great career where I'm making money. No longer do we need to look at these children as invalids, because they're not invalids. They just need to be given that little boost that we all need. Some of us need it in math, some of us need it in science. These children may need it in multiple areas, but they still are normal, just like every other person. They just need a little bit of help. And we need to stop blaming parents saying, well, they're not doing it. But like you said, if you don't have the money, how are you going to do that? If you can't blame the teacher because the teacher doesn't have the money to do it, we need to close those gaps. And I think I think it will do wonders, because when we fight the teachers versus the parents, it's the child that suffers, who ends up having to fight just to be heard. And we've got to get out of doing that. We really, really have got to get out of it.
Well, kudos to you, Christian, honey. And you definitely got my vote, and you definitely need that position at the state representative, because honey, we definitely need, in particular the kids, honey, to all learn together. Because when I was in school, honey, it was, you know, it was a whole totally different thing, honey. And you didn't hear much about anything about autism or anything like that. You just didn't hear about it. You know, it was either this or that. But nevertheless, though, I mean, it seems like to me, honey, you have a good thing going. And, you know, I feel with what you just talked about and stuff, and a lot of people need to hear, especially when it comes to the children, honey, that they definitely need to hear your stance on this. And good luck to you. And you're gonna win. We're gonna definitely put that out there. You're gonna definitely win.
And we're gonna, and just lastly, we're also gonna look at some environmental stuff. We're gonna really look at domestic violence, because there's so much that we can be doing to help with that. I've been working with some advocates who have been in the game for years to really push forward some real clear, comprehensive, just a short, simple solution. For one is, from now on, we have one bill that we're drafting right now. Because when I said I was day one ready for me was May the 25th, because I already have the experience. I don't have time to wait like everyone else. This bill will say something as simple as, if there is a domestic violence situation, that the police should be instructed to separate both people and give whoever could be the abused or both people the option to call an abuse hotline. So then that way they can have someone there that can walk them through how to leave, a safe place to go. And just something as simple as, if an emergency protection is given to you by a judge, it should automatically be an ankle monitor bracelet, because we know that just because you tell someone to stay 500 feet away from someone abused, that doesn't stop them. But guess what? If you show up to their house, there's a track record that will stop some people from doing things and causing women and men and people to be able to just be abused or murdered. And so these are just some of the few things I'm really looking forward to working on.
Because domestic violence, honey, is definitely on the rise, though. And like you're saying, with this ankle monitor, and that should go, you should get an ankle monitor, just both of them, period. Hell, if they're going through, because eventually, hell, he going to call her back in sweet talk, and she going to go right back to him, and then bam, there you go. That's when the problems occur. So if you have the ankle monitor on both of them, you can't go near him, and he can't go near you. Exactly. So we won't have that problem, honey, for the most part anyway and stuff. So that's a good idea. That's a good thought, because I'm telling you, I mean, you hear it on the news every day, and you see it, honey, every day. I mean, domestic violence, and the perpetrators are getting younger and younger.
Yep. Keep your hands off of people. Learn to use your words.
Yeah, because boy, you wonder where in the hell you get that from? How you know how to do all this, man? Is fighting, killing each other, what have you. So it's just it's something that definitely needs to be done. So that's a good campaign there. So what you're saying is, so I think that definitely need to be done, and something that people don't really talk about, and people need to start talking about that. And y'all should have more of these what you call town hall meetings or what have you regarding all this stuff. So I mean, I know you're putting that out there, letting the people know as you campaign.
Well, if you're here on November the 8th, we're going to do, I think you'll love this one. On November the 8th, I'm going to make voting fun again.
Yeah.
Do that. What we're going to do is we are getting ready to have a second line brass band that is going to walk with us from Woodrow Wilson Middle School all the way to Popeyes Park. And we're going to get some local people to pay for the food. So we're still being compliant with the law, the voting law. And we're going to march to the polls, and we're going to dance to the polls, and we're going to wave our flags, and we're going to get out there and we're going to do it. And then you can eat and go vote, or vote and come out and eat, and it'll be paid for. We're going to do parades throughout the city in different places. We're going to stock people with it. And the best thing is, it's going to give people that reminder that candidates actually do care about them, and that we can spend money on things other than galas and big banners. I want to do something for the community that we beg to vote. Well, you know what? I'm begging you to vote. I'm going to give you a party. So you have no excuse to come out and have fun.
You got to have an incentive, honey. So that sounds like a good incentive. Or bring it to a football field. Everybody go to the football games out there. They don't do nothing else. They go to the football game.
Exactly.
Well, that's good then. Well, Christian, that is a great thing, honey. And like I said, that's something definitely that the people, you got to get the people what they want.
Exactly.
And that's exactly what you're going to do.
Dance. So, hey, let's do this.
Well, I don't know how, so honey, I'll watch you dance. That's and swing out. Put all this swinging out is that whole Metroplex area is swinging out. So
exactly. That's why I said oh, Casanova. We're gonna do all of that. We're gonna do it all.
Yeah. Well, that's good. Then well, good luck. Then that's a great idea, honey. So isn't there anything else you want to talk about before I go to quickly, honey? One quick, honey. Look what I'm talking about.
Vote, because when you don't vote, you waste your tax dollars. Just remember that. When you pay your taxes, that money is allocated no matter where you live for you to vote. So you're wasting money every time you don't vote.
That's right. So Christian, so tell the people, how can they reach you if they want to donate to your campaign? Is that legal? Or how they want to donate to your campaign and all that?
As long as they're in the United States, it is the easiest way is to go to www.christian4texas, like the number 4, Christian4texas.com. There's some stuff about me, and then there's a donate page. Every little bit helps. The best thing about being in our area is that literally for me, I was able to do what would have cost Warnock or other people in different states, which would have cost them hundreds of millions of dollars in commercials and radio ads. I can do it all for less than $15,000. So every little bit helps. $500 can get me on air for probably 2 days. So I need every dollar. I need every penny. I take every shirts are $20. In some places, they're $5, $7 here. Every little bit helps. We're making actual real change here in Texas. We have elected 2 Muslim Americans. We have 3 openly gay Black Americans that are now in the legislature. I'm one of them. We are literally changing the dynamics in Texas. And I always tell people, if you don't think you can make a change, you already have. You just have to vote. It is so vitally important.
Yeah, well, we glad you're not going through what Warnock going through. Oh, wonderful Herschel Walker. Oh, Lord Jesus. Ain't nobody coming about the wood and say, oh, he beat me. Oh, my God, he tried to run over my foot. And
myself. We good.
That's good. So that's all right. Well, listen, Christian, before I let you go now, you're a human being. And what I do on my podcast, I do a little gossip here and there and help the people out. So I'm going to just use you. And I got a minute or so I could use you for some gossip. So, Christian, now, I don't know, do you ever watch the Real Housewives of Atlanta? Have you heard that show?
I haven't been lately because I've been on the campaign trail. But yes, it's the only actual reality show I watch.
So that means, you're familiar with Cynthia?
I love Cynthia.
Well, I don't know if you met. I don't know if you heard or whatever, but Cynthia and her husband are going through a turbulent divorce. She just been married for 2 years. She just made 2 years the other day. Now her and Mike are going through a divorce. And I was at the wedding, but people are talking about it saying, well, golly, she just got married. But this is my thing. I could meet a person today and I say, you love me or you like me? I like you. Yeah. Let's get married. I don't think you have to. I have a friend that's been married for 47 years and her and her husband to go through a divorce. I don't think it matters. It don't matter how long you've been together or what. First of all, if you like me and I like you, you want to get married, let's get married. If we don't make it out, damn, we could get divorced tomorrow. It's just that simple and easy to me. But people making a big thing about it because it's only been 2 years, and people saying we didn't see it coming. But some people saying that Cynthia may have not been Mike's type, or Mike may have not been Cynthia's type. But what do you think? Does it matter how long you've been together? That could they been together only 2 years that they shouldn't be divorced? Now, what you feel on that?
I think this, and I always say this in a serious, funny way. People get married for the wrong reasons. People don't get married for what they need and get married to someone who has their interests in mind. People get married because they're like, oh, he or she fits the box. But can he or she take care of you emotionally? Does he or she have the same child rearing? Does he or she have the same understanding of finances as you do? Or do they have a better understanding of it? And a lot of people just don't think things through all the way. And then on a funny note, since we're on Garage with the T, I can say it's kind of hard to get remarried to somebody else after you were dating a pimp like Peter. So, I mean,
yeah,
you could make $0.50. So, I mean,
that's the way it is. But I'm like that, and I'm just like, my friend, we were talking about that, and they was just like, that's why the law said you need to be equally yoked. I'm like, well, I guess so. Maybe they weren't equally yoked, but nevertheless, the situation is she is filing the divorce from poor Mike, honey. So I'm glad she didn't sell Lake Bailey. I don't think she sold Lake Bailey here in Black Atlanta, but she moved to Hollywood, though, and it's just a sad situation, though, honey. And then you got Tom Brady, honey, him and Giselle divorced, and so, honey, that bastard Antonio Brown, honey, he up there trying to put pictures up with him and Giselle as if they had something going on. But that man, Tom Brady, took that Negro in his house, and now he out here doing all that stuff on poor Tom Brady, y'all. It's sad, though, but love is a mended, splendid thing.
And it can be a mini hell of a thing.
That's right. So that's why I'm going to tell you this, Christian. That's why I'm doing like Brandon. I'm sitting up in my damn room, and I ain't worried about nobody else. Just me and King Jesus.
Well, right now I am just here for the Lord and my constituents. That's the only.
That's right. That's right. That's right, honey. So, I didn't know that, child. But anyway. All right. Well, Christian, thank you so much for stopping by. Good luck to you in your endeavor. Let us know again, how we can reach Christian.
www.christianfortexas.com.
And voting day is November the...
Election day is November the 8th. Early voting in Texas starts October the 24th to November the 4th.
All right, then. Well, Christian, take care. Good luck to you in your endeavors, honey. And I will see you when I come back to the Port of Arthur.
The Trill.
The Trill.
The original Trill.
And I still don't know what the hell the Trill means. But anyway, the Trill.
Come out. We'll teach you when you come back.
Yeah, teach me when I come back. Take care, Christian, and thank you.
Thank you.
Bye. All right, y'all. That was Christian Manuel. He's running for state representative, honey. He gave you his information. Go out and vote for Christian Manuel. They say we should do, but I'm telling you to vote for him, damn it. Yes, vote for Christian Manuel. All right, honey. I have another guest back. I don't have nothing on her. I didn't know that I was going to be talking with her today, but, honey, she's backstage. So, honey, let's bring up Miss Cherae Leri.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing fine, Cherae, baby. How you say it, Cherae?
Cherae Leri.
How you doing, Cherae Leri? Now, I know they told me, they said, now, I remember they mentioned you and stuff, but, honey, I did not know that we were going to be talking today, but I'm glad we are, because I love that color green, baby. You got the last color green hair, honey. So, Cherae, honey, what's going on with you?
Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot going on. It's a lot, The fourth quarter coming up, holidays coming up, but that does not stop the grind at any point at all.
Now, that's right, honey. And, baby, you definitely, honey, been grinding, honey, from where I'm hearing, child. So, I'm like, girl, baby, Miss Cherae. Now, Cherae, Cherae, girl, your album, the pain that sex brings?
Yes, that's me.
Girl, all right, bitch. Now, honey, what kind of pain does sex bring? Because, Cherae, I'm going to be honest with you, girl, honey. I'm a Christian, girl. I don't have sex right now. I'm saving myself for Jesus, honey. So, girl, talk about this album, baby, the pain that sex brings, honey. And it's going to be out now. Go ahead.
So my album was released. It was my debut album, and I was beyond excited, especially being that everything with the pandemic, being an indie artist and things like that. And I still was able to chart and still able to reach these milestones that for myself being an independent artist is something that you got to pat yourself on the back for. The pain that sex brings is a personal tribute to women and our different layers and things like that. And it's a lot of layers, and it's an emotional roller coaster. But at the end of the day, you're all gonna be able to relate to it, because at the end of the day, pain does bring sex, or it can bring pleasure. It's up to you about what it's gonna bring.
So tell me this, Cherae, though. So, honey, my thing. So, is this your first album? I mean, so you've been recording for a while, and this one here, honey, like I said, the title, honey, just caught my eye, just that quick, honey. My
Yeah.
Lord, honey.
Yes, previously I had an EP called Conscience EP, and that was more just an introduction, into the
Mm-hmm.
industry. And then, once you kind of introduce yourself and you still are dropping consistent singles and moving, I think it was time, and my team thought it was time to put out a full project, and that is exactly what we did. And it's still moving, it's still going. One of my top songs on there, Vibe Wave Mood, and I Understand, which has also been placed with Tyler Perry's All the Queen's Men. So if you guys watch that show,
Oh, yeah, that's Eva's show. Yes.
yes. So I've had two placements with them. Just Business is one of my songs that charted on Billboard, as well as I Understand, which is one of the singles from The Pain That Sex Brings. So yes, I'm extremely excited. It continues to move, and it continues to, do numbers. And so can't be nothing but grateful.
So tell me, Sheree, so does this, so are you tying this in with Domestic Violence Month? I mean, here, being in October, honey, is that some synonymous with the album or with any of that stuff?
I'm not necessarily tying the album into that. I am a survivor of domestic violence from a previous relationship, and last year was my first time talking about it. And
Yeah.
when one thing, when you're a victim of a situation like that, that predator doesn't necessarily think that you're going to be able to talk about it, or they think that they're winning by having that power over you.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the first time in almost 10 years that I've ever spoke about it.
Yeah.
And it empowered me, it empowered a lot of women, it empowered a lot of fans, even men that are also in narcissist, relationships and things like that. And I'll continue to speak on it and talk about it, because at the end of the day, it does need its own light. It does need its own platform. And I was never one to use it as an excuse to, not be able to prevail or keep going in my career, but instead I use it as a strength.
Yeah. And it's funny though that we just talked about it, because I was just talking with the future senator, state representative, and he was talking about domestic violence and stuff, and how they want to change the laws on that. And which he was saying something that was really interesting. He said, the perpetrator or whatever, they should put a ankle bracelet on both on the person.
And he's in Texas. I'm from Texas, and that's exactly where it occurred at. Go figure.
Okay, and I thought that was a good idea. I mean, put an ankle bracelet on, but here on both of them, so you don't want to go back to his butt, and he don't want to come back to you. So you put that damn ankle bracelet on, honey. Now we can find y'all, and then, honey, that right there, that could kind of eliminate some of this stuff. Where at least you could get caught if you're infringing on the other person's property or whatever, and go to jail. Hell.
Absolutely. Absolutely, because I mean, it's similar in a way to how sex offenders, they have to register. And
exactly.
People know, hey, you have this history, or hey, there's no opportunity to give them to do it again to somebody else. I actually do agree with that, and I'm sure that will come. But it takes people like myself that have a platform, that have a voice, that are not afraid to speak up, because the problem is, when you are a survivor of that situation, you already dealt with so much by just surviving alone. Now you got to talk about it and relive it, and give all these other different places and dark memories that you go down that you don't really want to. So that itself is hard.
Now, Cherae, so you said, which part of Texas? You from Texas?
I am. I'm from Houston.
Bitch, I'm from Port Arthur. Baby, and matter of fact, I'm supposed to be going to Houston next week. I love it. I lived in A-Leaf for 6 years.
Oh yeah. I'm from the north side of Houston, so I definitely am familiar with A-Leaf.
Yes, Lord, honey, we love Houston, honey. That's my city, baby, honey. I go to Yes, Lord. And they got fabulous restaurants. I go to Houston, honey, every Christmas. This is the honest truth, Cherae. Me and my mama go to Houston every Christmas. I go just to smell the Galleria.
Not to smell the Galleria.
Girl, just to Cherae, just to smell it. Honestly, I go just to smell it because it smells like money. And I go, we'll start off at Neiman Marcus and all the way down to the Gucci, I think, at the end, and come right back up and leave and go back to Port Arthur. I love the Galleria, baby, honey. That's my mall, honey. Even though I don't shop there much, but honey, ain't nothing wrong with smelling. You know, like they say, baby, honey, you got to smell it till you can get those coins, child. When I get those Cherae Leri coins.
You got to manifest it. It was funny actually running into you at the Sheen Awards.
Oh, really? And that's what I'm looking at here, too. I'm like, okay, so, child, me and Cherae, and we talk, Cherae?
We did. We had to do the Sheen talk, and we was right after one another.
Really? Well, and I'm going to apologize early because they didn't have this information, honey. And I'm like, okay, wait a damn minute, because I want to give Cherae her damn just dessert, honey. Her due, honey. And I'm like, and it popped up. I'm like, because I know we talked about Cherae, but we didn't finalize Cherae to my knowledge. But I'm glad we're talking now, honey. And you're cute too, girl, honey, with your pretty smile. Look at you. So, Cherae, you here?
We're professionals because, same here. I had my dates mixed up, and that's why I'm a little tardy. But when you're a professional, you're a professional.
Thank you.
Got it. So we're gonna keep it going because at the end of the day, nothing's perfect,
That's right, but honey, but that's all right, but honey.
Keep going.
That's right. We kept it going, damn it, honey. Jesus said, keep it going, child. Keep it going, honey. So that's good. So Cherae, so what's next for Cherae, honey? I mean, so are we doing any movies? Are we just working? And before I move in, I want to say, so honey, so did you know Beyonce and Meg, them and all those girls?
I did not know Meg. I was very familiar with Matthew Knowles. He also tried to recruit me at one point.
Well, I thought you were going to say tried to talk to you. Okay, go ahead, girl.
In the group, and I'm not, I'm a solo artist, and there's nothing wrong with people being in groups and things like that. It's just when you're not for a group, you're not for a group.
Okay.
And it shows, and sometimes you can't even fake the funk, even for that little bit of time. And so, yeah, that didn't work out that much. But no love lost and things like that.
No,
she's definitely a legend. He's definitely a legend with what, he was a part of. As far as what I have coming up next, now, we are coming in the fourth quarter, which is holiday, family time, and eggnog time.
Exactly.
And so last year, I just had this idea to collab with a lot of creators. I am Flux producer, Drums and Roses, a couple of writers and things like that to create a holiday R&B mashup. But the difference of what I wanted to do was not necessarily do some jingle bells for the kids. I want to put something on for the adults. XXXmas. So,
okay. All right, Millie Jackson.
So we called it Secret Santa. It was a mix up, like I said, of your holiday classics as well as your R&B classics. And so the take on it and the response on it was so amazing that we definitely was called to do it again this year. So everybody be looking out for fourth quarter. We are going to be dropping another mashup adult special called 40 Shades of Christmas.
All right, now for 40 Shades, so that means that's gonna really be something. Because if it's anything like the movie 40 Shades of Grey, honey, okay now. All right, y'all get ready, baby. Yeah. So Cherae, how often do you go home? Do you go home often?
I do. My family is still there. Like I said, I love to eat. In Houston, we are professional eaters. When I grow up, I'm gonna be a professional food taster.
Yes.
So I definitely do go home often.
Well, you don't eat that much, girl, because you small, baby, but that's all right. You don't, I ain't gonna say nothing, but anyway. All right. Cherae, well, honey, I want to thank you so much, honey, for stopping by. And like I said, I apologize, honey, for the mix up, but that's all right, baby. We made it through because Jesus said it's gonna come through, and that's what we doing, honey. So tell the people how we can find you, honey, how we can find all your music and all that.
Absolutely. Well, it's easy. My name is Cherae Leri, Queen of Trap and B, Cherae Leri. Let it roll off your tongue when you say it.
All right. All right. Well, Cherae, thanks again, honey, for stopping by. And good luck to you and your endeavors, honey. And, honey, who knows, we may run into each other in the Galleria one day.
We absolutely will. Before that, I'll see you in Atlanta.
All right, honey, take care. All right, y'all, that's Miss Cherae Leri, baby. This girl got an album and things out, and it's titled, baby, The Pain That Sex Brings, honey. So, I don't know, because, girl, I know they said no pain, no gain, honey, but sometimes we got to gain pain. All right, well, thank y'all for stopping by, honey. It was a beautiful show today, honey. You know, honey, if you like all what you heard, honey, click here. And if you like what you heard and didn't hear, click here, because we like you. Honey, I want y'all to have a great day and a better tomorrow, honey. And Feliz Navidad. Ta-ta. Ta-ta.